Good morning, guys. I'm Travis with Fish Hook Bait Company. Welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm really excited about today. I have a bait here that I put a lot of time and effort into. It's my favorite bait to throw. It's actually the bait that got me into lure making, and that is our heavy cover jig. It's, in my opinion, it's the best one you can get on the market. I really, really like it. And just a little backstory, I've caught a lot of fish on a jig in my life, and I fished a lot of different brands, and there's not one out there that I really particularly like. There's a lot of good jigs, but there's not one that I really, really like. Every one that I've seen out there, there's always something wrong with them. And so when I got into tinkering and making my own lures, this is the first bait I ever started working with. I have about 8 months of working with this bait to really, really get it the way I wanted it. If you notice the head design on it, it has a spearhead design. And in my opinion, that's the best head design that you can have to penetrate cover, and really the jig will really stand up really, really well. There's a lot of other brands out there that have something similar to that. And guys, that head design is a really big deal when you're trying to get into some of the places that I like to fish this jig. Probably the biggest key in the whole jig is the hook that's in it. If you notice, this jig naturally wants to stand up, and everybody thinks it's the head design with that flat spot and all the heavy weight that's in it, and that's not it, guys. It's really the hook that you put in your jig. If you notice, that hook is a little bit smaller hook than what everybody's used to, because a lot of jigs you get on the market now have a 5-6, some of them even have a 7/0 hook. And that bigger hook, it's really going to cut down on your bites. It's going to make your profile a little bit bigger, and it's going to hurt the action of your bait. The bigger the hook you put in it, the less action your bait's going to have. And the reason why I say that, to get the action out of a jig, you got to have, it has to be able to stand up really naturally, really, really well. And your skirting has to be the right length, especially if you use silicone skirting. The big craze right now is to run rubber, and I don't particularly care to use rubber, just because you can't get the color combinations that you can get out of silicone. And we all know that color is a big deal. Yes, you could probably just go anywhere and catch them on a brown jig or black and blue jig, but if you can really get the color dialed in, that'll get you a few extra bites. Another big key is you want to tie your skirting. And a lot of jigs that you see now, they use wire to tie the skirts on. And I don't particularly like wire. I mean, it's okay, I guess. I don't like it because if you get it too tight, you really cinch it down, it's gonna start to cut into your skirting. And the tighter you get that cinch on that skirt when you're tying it, the better it's gonna flare, the better action it's gonna have. And I don't like wire. I can't get it as tight as I really, really want it. I actually use 6-pound braid, and I can cinch this down so much tighter than with a wire, and it really makes it flare really, really good. You're not gonna have to worry about the skirt pulling off. It's gonna flare. I can get the same action out of a silicone skirt as a rubber skirt since I cinch it down with that braid, and it's not gonna cut it, guys. Your skirt's really gonna last a long time. You don't have to worry about it pulling off. The fish ain't gonna pull it off. I really put a real quality weed guard in this, and I usually just trim it about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch off the hook point here, and it has quite a bit of strand, so it really compresses really, really well. It's not too stiff. When they bite this jig, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna hook them, and they hold on to it really, really well. And with that little bit smaller profile, it's basically a finesse jig with a really heavy hook in it, where you don't have to worry about bending the hook. I make it in 4 colors. This particular color y'all been seeing, that's what we call Pines Perch. If you can see, it has some blue and purple and copper in it. It's probably all around my favorite color. I catch a lot of fish on this jig. If the water's clean, I'm fishing this jig. Even during the wintertime, I'm fishing this jig if the water's clean. But the warmer months, it's hard for me to pick another color. They just really got to be on another color for me to use it. And my other clear water color I throw is what we call Perky Perch. It's my variant of watermelon red. I catch a lot of fish on this color. I really, really like this color. in our area during the springtime, a lot of times they get on watermelon red really good, and you can't hardly catch a fish on any other color. And I've never seen a jig that had a watermelon red variant skirt on it. And so that's the reason why I went with this, and we call it Perky Perch. When the water's really, really clean, or they just get on a watermelon red bite, this is the one I'm throwing. The other two colors I throw are my wintertime colors and pre-spawn colors. And one of them was just the old staple all around the country. It's just a black and blue. This is a blue sapphire in it, and then it has the black and silver flake. It really stands out. It's a really, really good color. Everybody throws black and blue. It's hard to beat it. This other color I'm really proud of, we're calling this Texas Red. It's a variant of South African Special. In our area, South African Special is probably one of the best plastic colors that you can buy. It's really hard to find them. A lot of people use them, and it's just a staple, guys. And especially during the early spring, late winter time, our crawfish are really big and they're real black and red. And that's when they get on that crawfish bite, especially. And that color right there in particular is really, really hard to beat. Man, they really love this color. It's probably my most popular selling color, to be honest with y'all. That and the Pines Perch, which is this one here. These two colors are my most popular colors, and I catch a lot of fish on these two colors. I throw them a lot. I make them in a 3/8, half, and 3/4. I mostly throw a 3/4 ounce size. I'll throw a half at times, especially when I'm shallow. I'm just trying to get my fall rate down. But if I can get away with a 3/4, that's what I'm throwing. I don't understand that because, like, I don't sell very many of them. Majority of the people that come in and buy baits from me, they want a 3/8 or half, but I use a 3/4 probably 70% of the time. I very rarely pick up a 3/8. The only time I really pick up a 3/8 is when they're really not biting the half ounce, or they want that really slower fall. And usually with the 3/8, I'll bulk the trailer up and it really slow it down. It's mostly around the post spawn. I'm gonna do a tips and tricks video and give you all the secrets and how I rig them, what trailers I use, what color trailers I use, and just try to simplify it, because a lot of people are intimidated about jig fishing. But to be honest with you, it's probably the best bait you have in your tackle box, especially if it's the one that's made correctly. These baits just generate strikes, guys. I mean, there's at times when plastics will outfish a jig, but it's very rarely. Like 9 times out of 10, you can fish a jig over a plastic, and you're gonna catch just as many fish as that plastic does. And usually you're gonna catch a little bit bigger than average fish. And that's the reason why I like fishing a jig. I catch bigger fish on a jig than I do my plastics 9 times out of 10. But I really appreciate y'all tuning in. That's about all I got on this thing. If y'all are interested in buying jigs from me, you can check them out on fishhookbaitcompany.com. I have a discount code, FishHook10. It's going to give you 10% off on your next purchase. We actually have some holiday gift bags that we're fixing to come out with. If y'all want to check those out, we'll be posting them on our Facebook page, and I'll probably do a video on YouTube about them. They're really, really going to be good, something good for the holidays, a perfect gift for everybody. I'm going to try to discount them for y'all. Check us out on Facebook, guys. I usually pretty good about updating there. If you're seeing this on YouTube, I really appreciate y'all watching our YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Thank y'all.